The timestamps of all parts of the tutorial will be in my comment below. The pieces on the 2x2 are all corners. It has 8 of them, and there are the pieces with 3 colors on them. The color scheme is white is across from yellow, red is across from orange, and blue is across from green. If you have white on the bottom, there's blue is left of red. Now, not all color schemes are like this. Some can have black on them instead of white, and others can just have a complete different color scheme with pink or purple, or like white opposite of blue. You will have to adjust if your color scheme does not match mine, but other than that, let's start with notation. The notation are letters that tell you how to move the cube. For example, R tells you to move the right face. U tells you to move the upper face. L tells you to move the left face. D tells you to move the down face. F tells you to move the front face, the face facing you. And B tells you to move the back face, but that really isn't used much. There are also 3 more letters that don't mean to move pieces. Instead, they mean to rotate the whole cube, like this. And X means to rotate the whole cube like you were doing an arm move, like this. A Y move means to rotate the cube like you were turning the U face, like that. And a Z move means to turn the cube like you were doing an F move, like so. There are also symbols after the letter that tell you additional information about the move. Like an apostrophe is called prime, and it tells you to move the face clockwise. So R apostrophe, or R prime, would tell you to move the right face counterclockwise instead, like that. Then you could do an R to undo it. If there is a 2 after the letter, that means to rotate it twice. So U2 would mean to rotate the U face twice, like so. You can move it clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. The primes and double moves also work the same with rotations. For example, the X is this, and X prime is this. Y prime, U, is this, and Y2 is this. Now, since mine is scrambled, we can get into the solution of the 2x2. The first step of the solution is to solve white, or any color you want to solve first. You need to solve it correctly with bars going around it, like this. To do this, you need to find 2 white pieces that share a color. This white piece is white, orange, and green. That is white, blue, and red, which doesn't match with this. White, blue, and red does match with white, red, and green, so we can connect these. To connect these, we first move it somewhere around its spot in one of these 2 corners. Since it's here, we hold it at the right side and do this algorithm until it's solved. R, U, R prime, U prime. Looks like we only had to do it once, but sometimes you have to do it a lot more, like this case. In this case, it's down here, but it's still in the 2 corners it needs to be. So we do the algorithm until it's solved. R, U, R prime, U prime. 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 As you can see, it took a bit to solve, but we solved it after 4 turns. Since now we have two pieces connected in a bar, we have to get a third one with it. So we have to find another piece. This is a blue-orange piece. It matches with this blue right here, so it goes into here. So we have to move it over in one of the two spots, either on it or above it. We can move it above it with the U prime. Now, we just have to do the algorithm until it's in place. R, U, R prime, U prime. Now it's in place, so we move on to the last corner. The white, orange, green, which is right here. Since this spot is here, we can put it either there or there. So we can put it right here. Then we do the algorithm until it solves. Now we have white completely solved and we can move on to the next step. The next step of solving a 2x2 is to solve the yellow face. Once you're done, it should look like this. So, to do this, we need to learn an algorithm called the SUN. It goes like this. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Here it is again. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. You can use this algorithm to solve yellow. You can use this by first counting how many yellow corners are facing up, or the right way. So in this, we have up, which is opposite white, for the first side we solved. We have 1, 2 yellows up. So, we need to know how to use this number to help solve it. To use this number, we have to look at the front left up corner, or this corner right here. If we had 0 corners on top, like this, we would need to put a corner here on the front left U, like this. So now we have a yellow here, so we can do the algorithm. If you have 1 yellow on top, you need to put a yellow here, like this. There's 1 yellow on top, so you put it right here on the front left, up. And then do the algorithm. But in this case, we have 2, so we put a yellow here on the FLU. And then do the algorithm. So it's 0, 1, 2, clockwise around this corner. So now we know how to hold the cube when we do the SUN, which is the algorithm I just discussed. So now we do the algorithm and see what we have now. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And now it isn't actually solved, but it goes to a different case. You should still have white solved. If you didn't resolve white, you did it wrong. Now, we see that we have 1 yellow on top, so we put it right here. 0, 1, 2. So 1 right there. Let's do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. We have 1 yellow corner on top again, so we put it 0, 1, 2. So U2 to put it in place, or you could just rotate the cube around. This case always ends it where you have your 1 in the right spot and another one here right of it facing towards you. So do the algorithm to solve yellow. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And now yellow is solved, and we can move on to the next step, solving the cube. For this final step, solving the cube, your end goal should be this, a completed 2x2. As you can see, and now we just need to move around these corners to solve the cube. You can do this. You can switch those two corners with this algorithm, the T-perm. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. This may seem long, but if you read it and do it over and over again, you'll start to better memorize it. If you have two solved corners right next to each other, put them next to their solved side, like this. Next, we just need to solve these two. We need to switch them. So they're on the right, solved corners on the left, and then we do the T-perm again. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And we have a solved cube. Sometimes you don't always have two solved corners next to each other. In this case, you have a diagonal swap, where you need to switch two diagonal corners. If you need to do this, just do a T-perm from any angle where white's on the bottom, and then you'll have two corners next to each other. So here's how you would solve this. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And here are our two solved corners, so we match it up with its bottom layer. And now we just need to switch these two corners. So solved corners on the left, corners we need to switch on the right, and do the T-perm one more time. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And that is how to solve the 2x2. Now I am going to do two example solves. So this is my first solve. I can see I already have a bar here. Here's one of the pieces, and it is currently in its spot because the blues match up. So put it right here, do the first algorithm. Now we just need this to be in there. So let's put it over and do the algorithm again. Now we have one yellow on top, so 0, 1, 2, 1 goes right there. And there isn't a yellow here, so we're going to have to do it more than just once. We're doing this soon. Here's one yellow, 0, 1, 2, put it there. And there is a yellow there, so this is the last one. And I got lucky on this solve, so I have a skip of the last